Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Good morning, world. Europe, the whole of Africa, the whole of the Caribbean. You hear me now? Babylon knows some nonsense, you know, idiot. Yeah, man, I'm in here, Lumba. This are the program speak out on your mind. That's a thing you want to say for the longest time. Hold on now. You hear me now? I'm not smart. I want to let go this Kansas City and I fight natural herbs. I want to watch it, you know. Watch it.
Reporting to you live from Lion Voice TV. We're outside the Clarkstown Court House. Mr. Greetings. Just a little word before you go in, please. Just a little word.
Oh, we give thanks to Rastafari community coming out. Yeah, we feel a joy to see everyone out today.
Yes, bless
Yeah,
you.
man, because a long time ganja is Rastafari own.
Yes.
And we never expect say in 2024 we're going to still find Rastafari get charged and prosecute and they are court house. Ganja. So me I say?
Yes.
So me I say enough is enough.
Enough is
enough. And we're glad the family come out.
Yes.
Because we're tired of it.
We're tired of it.
Tired of it.
All right.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice. Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, it's best that we live out best, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. So it's best that we live out the best, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. See them slave for paychecks. Work every day, grow old from the stress that pays. They're getting cold in the west. Remember we were bought and sold for gold down in the west. I check in my history and I see the sweat from our back to them country. Black people hungry still for the money. Them a rob and them a steal. Funny cause the slave have to face $100 bill for him. Y'all can act like it ain't a big deal, but I got to stand for the black. Color of my skin could have never changed that. No, the slave master thought y'all never talk back, but I must be back. See them on the war with Iraq, and my people them dying from the ears and crack. They lack basic things that they need, so they chase the Benjamins, living like second class citizens. Time to look within. Haile, Selassie, King of Kings, and Ethiopia there from the beginning. Well, ancient memories as it was, miss the soul of the people. So it's best that we live out the west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress.
Your thoughts?
Empress, yeah, I say, ganja for free, you know. Buy them, you know. Seeing them need to free themselves first, still.
Free themselves.
Natural. So that's how we expect them to do from years ago going in. Seeing because the herbs done free to I and I. Seeing so one them realize and recognize and I know say it's free to I. Seeing so we need them now for free to themselves. Seeing so them realize and take it to themselves, free up themselves. Yes, that with the pan.
That with the pan.
Free up their rights.
Yeah, respect each and everyone. Now we're here to really fight for the rights of every human rights. Peace and love and guidance.
Peace and love.
Yeah. And I give thanks and praise to Rastafari to this legalization of ganja. Give thanks, Rastafari.
Blessings.
You want the right to be free. You're right to have a right to have ganja, because we're right.
That's a full right.
Yes, yeah.
All right, blessings.
Full time with the herb free. too much distress and destruction from Batirang and the herb. We want to come out of that the kind of crisis.
We need to come out of it. Alright?
Full time now we know to be and the herb free. Rasta and the herb be free. And the Batirang hand. Yes, Mrs.
Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first. Liberation for all nation, kingdom and tongue. Once and for all, now and forever. Death before dishonor. Justice with judgment. Lightning and thunder in a wrong city now. Liberation time. Selassie the first.
Rastafari.
Oh, me again. And I have a lot of things to say. For one reason, let me even think about this. Ganja. Rastafari has been the founder of ganja since we find upon King Solomon grave and Bob Marley them come telling about it. And now the white man come in and take away ganja. What we are tell them say our biggest medicine from how long, and then take away now and ganga and take you and want make how much money I fight and how much things I fight. And then one come tell we about sacramental rights and we not fi make no money off of free ganja. What we grew and we plant for much years Babylon a cut down with things and take away. Tired of it and now party. We want rights.
Right or wrong, Rasta and ganja go synonymous.
Okay.
Alright? In and. Married. Union. Alright?
Yeah, man. Blessed love Rastafari. Give thanks, you know. I'm gonna say, you know, it's a shame and disgrace by the government or the people that might be receiving around Jamaica. So, no, say, of all the millions and billions of dollars the government make off of I Rasta, Minister of Culture and Tourist Industry. And for come know, say, the basic fundamental rights I have to make a financial or commercial development through ganja, which is I foundation. Because anywhere you go and see Rasta, you see ganja. Anywhere you see ganja, you see Rasta. Same place too. Two I is one and the same. Jamaican government from 1957 no say Rasta plan ganja for make money. And if you know say now in a 2024 Rasta not supposed to sell ganja. Fireborn. Fire. I have to stand up here right as go Rasta and black people if you know say this is I foundation, ganja, Rasta and reggae music round here, so. Yeah. Time for I stop take oppression, and you know, and live up to I. Give thanks, you know, Rasta.
Bless it.
Good morning, world. Europe, the whole of Africa, the whole of the Caribbean. You hear me now? Babylon, you know, some nonsense, you know, idiot. Yeah, man, I'm in here, Lumba. This are the program speak out on your mind. That's a thing you want to say for the longest time. Hold on now. You hear me now? I'm not smart. I want to let go this cancer stick and I fight natural herbs. You want to watch it, you know? Watch it.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of the Lion Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to the Lion Voice, where the lions and the lionesses are telling our own story, where we are preparing the Rastafari man to lead prosperous Rastafari future, where we are hearing from the frontline workers in Rastafari and the Pan-African community. Tonight we have a special episode. We are going to be looking at what has been happening in Jamaica. We've been carrying it on this platform. There has been an attack against the Rastafari community and their use of sacramental ganja. Law enforcement has been targeting Rastafari sacramental spaces. The owners and administrators of these spaces are being arrested and locked up and charged with possession and dealing, meaning if you have a certain amount of over a certain amount of ganja, you're charged with dealing, the presumption of dealing. The Rastafari community is coming together to fight this injustice. The 2015 amendment to the Dangerous Drug Act in Jamaica provides an exemption from the charge of possession for the adherents of the Rastafari faith. And, you know, therefore, if you're exempt because of your adherence to the Rastafari faith, and there's no limit to the amount that you can possess, how is it now that one can be charged with dealing if they're caught with over a certain amount that applies to those who are not covered under this provision. Also, the underlying issue is the right of Rastafari to create an economic ecosystem associated with the sacramental ganja. Everything costs. These sacramental spaces provide herb for Rastas who are not farmers, who come from all tribe to gain their herb. Many of them leave contributions to the space for the herb, which is natural. You don't, go check a farmer and you don't give him anything and just expect to take. Under the current law, that is criminalized. So, although they have provided an exemption for inheritance of Rastafari faith, the entire levity of the system is still criminalized. Tonight's episode, we're going to go into, and this is exclusive footage provided here by the Lion's Voice. I told the item we want to evolve so where we can have regular news programs on the network, Rastafari News. This is a collaboration that we're doing with the House of Seba. They provided us with a correspondent who is on the ground bringing us this information. If you haven't seen the interview with Ras Jabali Seba, the founder of House of Seba, then please check out that interview. This episode, again, is in collaboration with House of Seba. The Brethren Ras Jabali has been arrested and charged with possession and dealing. Our elder Elder Negus was charged with the same charge, possession and dealing. He also runs a sacramental space in Montego Bay. So there's a pattern. They're coming after Rastafari leadership, and the community has said they will not accept it. It's unacceptable. So taking this exclusive footage, we will return to discuss more. But remember that the Lion Voice, we are here. This is an unapologetic Rastafari, non-aligned, independent media. And we see in these instances why it's so important. No one else is covering this with this amount of detail. So make sure you spread the word, subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment. Let's boost up the algorithm. We are rising, family. The time has come for the Lions. You know the rest.
So it start here this morning with the family coming out. You know what I say? But the one that will sit and hear we, you know what I mean? So it's not alone. It's a family situation. We're going to defend it as a family, as a community. Right? Because Rastafari rights, and I know, and I just since 2015, neither Rastafari rights is from ever since. As the Lord, I catch you up now with the rights. So we want no more police harassment, no more prosecution, no more jailhouse or prison or ganja. Enough is enough.
I know we want to speak to Attorney Michael Lauren.
No, it's all right. No,
sorry.
In 1997, Dennis Forsyth brought a case before the Constitutional Court for the right to use ganja. He had a domestic problem, and the woman that he had his child with called on police for him. And when they search his house, they find ganja and a chillum pipe. He took the matter to the Constitutional Court, and the judges tried to embarrass him. Them go as far as calling him bareface. Bareface, because he made the great point that if the Constitution gives you so much rights, freedom of religion, of worship, assembly, and all of those rights, freedom of association, then any other law which contradicts the Constitution must be declared null and void. And they use all sorts of things. They use existing law clause. They use saving law clause to try to show that these laws existed before the Constitution, so as to deny Dennis Forsyth. Be that as it may. So we now stand on Dennis Forsyth's shoulders. He did a tremendous research. Before he died, he wrote a book. The name of the book is Rastafari, the Ganja Challenge. It's the name of the book. And he brought it to me and said, look, Brother Miguel, please publish this book for me. And I ask you to continue the struggle. So I have the book and we're going to publish the book. Tremendous amount of research. Tremendous amount of cases. At that time in 1997, there was no 2015 amendment that we have now. So when we go back to the Constitutional Court now, we will be armed with the 2015 amendment. We will be armed with greater laws to say, look, the fact that this law contradicts the Constitution, we therefore must have a right now to exercise that right. That's all we are doing. It's not new under the sun. It's just a time come now when we must demand that right. Definitely. Because so the point he made was that if you fight against ganja, you fight against Rastafari, because everybody knows ganja is Rastafari food. So it's not magical, not mystical. It's just a natural process, beloved. And it's the first I ever know a brethren where when them charge him before the court, him said, but I'm glad. I'm glad because I want to stop this foolishness now. So I'm glad that I'm the one that just chosen that we can carry this thing forward now to the Constitutional Court and agitate, constantly agitate for our rights. So we give thanks, give thanks.
Yes, I really give thanks today as to the day, because it's a great witness to witness what going on right there. So because as Rastafari, brethren and sisters, we suffer over the years. I fourth parents go through it in a Rasta to herb. You know, see it. And now is the time where we say herb must free, because when herb free, then we know say yes, that's our sacramental rights. Then I are going to free, because I free already, you know, but we want the sacramental rights for free. I suppose we can do anything we want with ganja, because ganja for Rasta. And you say you say herb, so I say free the herb. Selassie, yes sir.
I see quite a lot of the brethren them here who work with Brother Zosa. The day before them arrest, them charge. Yes, them charge Ras Jabali. It's the day before that Zosa case in St. Anne. Zosa was arrested with 11.5 pounds of herbs. He come before the court. He said, look, Judge, I'm a Rastafarian. I have a right to burn herbs. They bring up the argument about 2 ounces. He said, no, I'm going to my brethren reasoning. 2 ounces cannot serve in a reasoning. And yes. So from the day the police arrested him, he said, look, I'm a Rastafari and I have a right to burn her. Luckily, the case lasted over 2 years. And during the case, the magistrate said she went to a ganja farm. And she was most surprised that when she put up her hand, the tree was taller than her. She never knew, because all along she thought a tree was a little shrubbery, you know? Which leads me to the point that they should really educate them. Every judge that is going to try persons for God, you should first educate them.
And I want to just take some time to big up Lion Pride, the Lion Pride on Patreon. We have just hit a milestone, 2,500 subscribers. I remember when we were under 100. And for all of my Lion Pride, if you were here under 100, just drop a comment. I want to see who is still with us from them early days there. We did this before, but big up yourself. drop a comment. I want to highlight a comment from Ras from Tanzania. I'm going to put it up on the screen. He talks about what this platform means to him, and this is why we are doing what we are doing, family. And it make I feel so good. So this is the comment of the strong. We were doing that, kind of got off track, but this is the brethren comment, and Chosai, so powerful and humbling what the brethren has said to I and I. I really give thanks for your comments, and please, your comments is the engine. You know, we don't have as many ones joining us in our Lion Pride on Patreon as we would love, but the comments worth more than gold, trust I. So drop a comment, let us know how you feel about the platform. And it also, for those who are not familiar, it helps the algorithm. The more comments you get on videos, the more the YouTube algorithm suggests the video to other people to see with similar interests. So drop the comments. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. We just welcome Carib Life Media. Big up Beware Carib Life Media family as our latest member of the Lion Pride on Patreon. We've also created the Ubuntu Lion Pride. Big up yourself, Iras Promotion, Production, Iras. And for those asking, I've been reasoning with my brethren and my sister, and some of them are not able or do not want to join the Lion Pride on Patreon because of it debits your account automatically every month. It's like a subscription service, like a Netflix. It helps us on the channel because we can plan, we can set budget, we can scale the platform. That's the beauty of the direct to consumer. But some of our family, they're not able to do that. And I overstand, and I tell people, you can start as low as $5 a month that you would give to Starbucks, or you would give to whatever you're doing to support the platform, to support Rastafari independent media and help us to grow. But some of them cannot or do not want to do that, but they want to contribute to the platform. So the Ubuntu Lion Pride is there. Any contribution over $50 US puts you on the Ubuntu Lion Pride list. So that means that we acknowledge you as someone who drop a log in the fire, you know what I mean? And that's a permanent list. So if you give even one $50 contribution, then we will acknowledge you. You can do your contribution via Cash App or Zelle, and we'll have the information on the screen. So, feel free to join the Ubuntu Lion Pride. We acknowledge that some of the warriors, sometimes you just want to bust a big gun, the Arkelon gun from Switzerland, and drop to an Italian plane and you move. That is fine. You can give us a $50 contribution, $100, $1,000. We have big millionaires that watch this too. Drop a 10 grand if you feel spicy. You can do that. You know what I mean? So the Ubuntu Lion Pride is there. We have the Lion Pride on Patreon as well. The Lion Pride on Patreon. That is who is responsible for bringing this platform. Those are the inner circle. That is the core. So if you want to become part of the core, you want to have access. My Lion Pride on Patreon, they ask guy questions about what they're doing. Some of them are creatives. That is where I give my full attention because they're supporting so I feel obliged to support our Lion Pride on Patreon. You can also join the Lion Pride on Patreon for free as a free member, and we do have a Lion Pride on Patreon podcast where we give a little bit more behind the scenes information about the building of the channel, what we're doing, our plans, our vision. So if you want to join as a free member, you're not ready yet, or you're just getting your money up, you can join as a free member. So I just have to take the time to big up because we're in the era where we're not looking at big sponsorship. We're looking at direct to consumer. We're looking at the ones who support the platform as being the ones who financially support the platform. So that way we don't have to even consider bending or compromising to no corporate interests. The people is who will show the rise and fall of the platform. Big up Ras LIDJ, Ramia King Design, my Tumblr. I always have it. You see me sipping in the interviews. Lion Voice Live. This is it. We don't leave Ramia King Design. Big up Honorable Priest Kailash if you haven't seen that episode. A mighty episode. And you're gonna start seeing we have a lot of artist interviews already recorded. You're gonna start seeing them. Big names coming on the platform from the Rastafari family. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and join the Lion Pride. If you're already part of the Lion Pride, share this among your network. Share this in your WhatsApp groups. Tell the family it's time. We're mobilizing. We're rising. Repatriation is now. All right, let's get forward to the topic.
The reason why I don't reach further in an I effort to fight the government to the point where they have to respect I rights is because of the disunity amongst I. Yes. It's because rather than coming together and fighting the system, you come and fight your brethren and your sister who are fight the system. See? Nevertheless, I must realize that everything that I out there fighting for is the benefit not of I as individual who out there, but it's for the community. See? So I man give thanks to see the turnout right as I know today. But they then realize. Yeah, put them together for yourself. Definitely. Because it shows I get serious. Yes. And I realize what is at stake. It cannot be that I who suffer to hurt my brethren and my sister. The time comes when an industry is established, but I shut out from the economic part of the industry. Yes. See? So that is what more than anything I defend you today, the right to make money out of herb. See? And don't tell I that you recognize our sacramental species. I say if you recognize these sacramental species as distribution ganja point for I brethren and sisters who not plant herb but want herb. See? Must have economic benefit. We must, because that was part of our income stream. So I'm going to say to my brethren and my sister, we must be able to identify the troublemaker and the usurpers amongst I. And if I cannot get rid of them from amongst I, then they must be prepared for work with the unity. Because united we stand, divided we fall. Babylon system only exists because I not come together in the right and proper way yet. Yes. But when I come together, I must come together with a purpose. Not just come together because we want to come together, but come together with an aim. And that aim, one, Carpan Babylon system to make sure that the issue of repatriation, including reparation, is dealt with. And this is why I go through. Then to pay back I as Rastafari to the separation when they go through for ganja. Because them now want to come take it over to make money out of. Them not fully take it over yet. But if I stand by and keep silent, they will. Yes. Right. Because silence is the danger. Silence is consent, you know. Yes. So if we not do anything and keep quiet, them are a piece of what they idiot there, what them. But you see, if I can come together constantly in another way, yeah, and on a broader level, because when it comes to Mobile, you know, we want bigger crowd. When it comes to Kingston and Ochi, because one place I demonstrate, you know. Yes. And here comes to sing a song, say, and I will never keep our silence. While wrongs are gone. See, Haile Selassie, I say, is the silence of the voice of justice when it matters most that has enabled evil to triumph. So if I not confront it seriously, they're not going to feature after idiot. Them can always go and do what they do. But see if I not constantly come together, Ras, is I not right, so I not defend, you know. And if something I not ask for, you know, or beg for, you know, is I not right? Even before the amendment 2015, the United Nations Charter based on constitutional fundamental human rights, see, the charter was established 1948. 1948. Right? The UN was established 1945, just little after the end of World War II. See, Haile Selassie was a founding member of the United Nations. Because it's on his principle that he was saying to the League of Nations that the United Nations was established, collective security for surety. See? So these rights are enshrined in international law. The Jamaican Constitution adopts aspect of the United Nations Charter. Because from Article 18 go down, you have what them call the human rights section of the Jamaican Constitution. They too recognize I religious rights. According to them, it is enshrined that they should. So even before 2015, when I get through the brutality for Herb, it was a violation of I rights. But 2015 now, them come say what you know, Rasta free for plant herb. We free for plant herb, but guess what? We don't want to plant herb. We want to make money out of planting herb. And we want to be able to move it from point A to point B without interference. I see the brethren and sister, and right now we in a dialogue with them right chuck, and the next day them know clear and plain. See? And I have submit different lists. But we have said, what about the brethren and the sister whose name is not on these lists?
Yes.
But them a Rasta.
Yes. And them a grassroots.
See? So make an amnesty that over a period of time. You top lock up Rasta, every Rasta, whether we name the pan list or we name the pan list. You top lock up Rasta for herb.
Trouble Rasta on herb.
That is what I have said. The church man sell bread and wine and them sacrament. Police can't go lock them up with that. No. So when we have our ganja, our sacrament, our herb, in our sacramental spaces, you want to come lock up and I pay. See, so these are the rights I defend. The right to grow herb, the right to do anything with herb, but at the end of the day, not only to enjoy the benefit of herb spiritually, but economically. Money is why I defend out of herb. See when I call them boy a seat say. When you go and look upon an establishment, the brethren and sisters, and millions, if not billions of dollars worth of investment. I don't have that. I don't have them millions and billions to go invest in a herb.
Still,
but we have the right.
Yes, we have the right.
And at that time I must defend. Wherever I am there, we support. Yes.
Mighty. So you can see what's happening on the ground there in Jamaica. A lot of work and activism after attending the rally at the court. The first part of the footage was at the court. They went and had another gathering at House of Seba. So not the full crowd, but many joined the family at House of Seba, where a statement was read out. The statement was read at the court as well. I'm going to bring the item, some of that statement now. And this is an official statement from the RMO Board of Directors as it relates to the current situation, read by Dr. Loveye. So check it out.
The fact that we granted the Constitution was in order to strengthen unity so that our country will be built around the idea of one emperor and one government in which everyone will be conscious of his duty based upon the principles of one for all and all for one. Isn't 1950, May 18, 1959. Brethren and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we greet you in thy divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. We greet you in the name of Rastafari, Mansions and Organization. The RMO, which consists of 14 mansions and organizations who have signed a constitution that allow us to speak with one voice. It is our great pleasure to see the turnout of our community for this cause. So we gather together today under unfortunate circumstances. On Monday, April 29, 2024, Ras Jabali was arrested and charged by the narcotic police for possession and dealing of approximately 2 pounds of ganja found at his Rastafari resident sacramental space, House of Seba in Dejazmatch, Trelawny. This was one day after the RMO hosted another in our series of R&B Hall community gatherings at the same location of House of Seba. This Charles Largi Ras Negus, who was arrested and charged for possession and dealing of approximately 2 pounds of ganja found inside his sacramental space in Montego Bay, St. James in December 2022. The RMO had been engaged in meeting with Minister Delwar and the Minister of Justice in effort to have the government ensure Rastafari sacramental rights is unacceptable, and the reason why the RMO is gathered here today to call our community. This time has come to make a stand for our basic human rights to practice. The time has come. The time has come to make a stand for our basic human rights to practice our faith free of persecution. House of Seba is clearly a Rastafari space. Ras Jabali is clearly Rastafari. This herb was clearly marked Rastafari sacrament. House of Seba is a member of the RMO and of the Rastafari Grassroots Ganja Association, RAGGA, a community of the RMO. The question the Rastafari community is asking is why 9 years after the passage of the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act in 2015, are members of the Rastafari community still being subjected to targeting, arrest, search, prosecution, conviction, and sentencing for our sacrament, despite the Rastafari ganja rights that are recognized in the law since 2015. Rastafari community members are all still subject to be targeted. Harassed, arrest, charge, persecution, convict, and sentence for dealing ganja, which is still a crime under the law. Under the law, anyone who is in possession of 8 or more ounces of ganja is presumed to be dealing in ganja. The nature of the packaging and any exchange of cash is also seen as evidence of dealing in ganja. The position of the RMO and RAGGA is that in light of Rastafari constitutional rights to ganja now recognized in the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015, presumption of dealing ganja under section 22(7)(e) of the Act does not apply to members of Rastafari community in possession of ganja for religious purposes as a sacrament in adherence to the Rastafari faith. The application of the presumption of dealing to Rastafari is impractical and unacceptable when every Rastafari individual has the constitutional right and religious freedom to possess in excess of 8 ounces of ganja, and the RMO is therefore calling on all Rastafari in Jamaica to come come together to stand with the RMO against the continued persecution and breaches of Rastafari constitutional right to ganja by the government of Jamaica. We will be demanding reparation from the government of Jamaica for these ongoing abuse of our rights, including the rights of Rastafari, sacramental distribution, space to generate economies. Not all Rastafaris are farmers, yet most Rastafari use sacramental herbs. The current system criminalizes Rastafari who gave financial contribution to support the space that provide their sacrament. We further demand that the government amend existing Dangerous Drugs Act to fully protect Rastafari ganja rights, and that in the interim that there is an immediate amnesty slash moratorium. Amnesty moratorium against all arrests and persecutions of Rasta community members for ganja to ensure Rastafari have unmolested freedom to enjoy our secret and constitutional guarantee relationship to ganja. The RMO vision The RMO vision for Rastafari in Jamaica goes beyond ganja and include the creation of comprehensive economic development plan centered around agribusiness to include the creation of an ITAL certification standard. The RMO had initiated our monthly R&B Hall, Harambe Hall, Rastafari Expo and downtown meeting as a means to establish communication with the wider Rastafari community and provide economic opportunities for our Rastafari farmers and crafts people. We also mapping our community to identify our human resources. Please ensure that we receive our information before leaving today. We give the Almighty thanks, and we know that we will win as we remain confident to the ultimate victory of good over evil. Selah. Rastafari.
Mighty. And we also had presentations from Rastafari attorneys, Ras Miguel Lorne, Ras Marcus Goff, both of them founding members of the Haile Selassie Foundation for Law and Society, which I'm also a founding member. And my work with the RMO is under the auspices of the Haile Selassie Foundation for Law and Society. So these are my legal colleagues, and these brethren take a lot of flack, take a lot of shots from community, and I am not with these brethren all of the time, but one thing I can say is that when things happen, these are the brethren that the community can rely on. They have done thousands of hours in court rooms for community members over the years. So big up my legal colleagues, Ras Marcus, Ras Miguel Lorne. Ras Miguel gave I first kete, latter, and you can check out Ras Miguel episode. We interviewed Ras Miguel, we interviewed Ras Marcus, both on this platform, so you can check out those interviews here on the Lion Voice platform.
This is our first time to bless in this space, so I give thanks to one of them who maintain the space, and give thanks that we have this space that we can gather, Rastafari Liberty can exist freely, so give thanks to be here and to talk about ganja, ganja rights, Rastafari ganja rights. I think it's an important thing because we know of it a long time. Rastafari been under the criminal law, right? Under the criminal law that said that ganja is a crime, right? And we know some Rastafari ones go to prison and so forth. For generation of families, no families get damaged and destroyed because of the persecution of Rastafari for ganja, and the criminal law put in place against NI for ganja, and so it's really something that I'm saying that for generations we got through that,
And now we have here to see a legal dispensation where Rastafari actually have them ganja rights recognized to an extent. Because you don't recognize properly and fully, right? And there's other things that still need to really, get to where it need to be, because otherwise we would be here with Ras Seba and the criminal court and so forth, right? But in terms of where it reached, I think we have to really just acknowledge and give thanks that we have what we can call Rastafari ganja rights. So one of the main things with that really is that, Rastafari rights to ganja in the context of the laws of Jamaica, right, is framed within the context of the Constitution of Jamaica, right, which is of course the 1962 Constitution, which was, as we know, passed at Buckingham Palace, right? So it is a colonial constitution, and it was amended in 2011, but it is still the constitution that is the foundation of the Jamaican legal system. Right? So we're talking about the Charter of Rights, which is chapter 3 of the Constitution, which sets out now the fundamental rights and freedoms of everyone within Jamaica. Right? And so within that constitutional law context, we talk about the freedom of religion. Right? Now, we know that Rastafari is not a religion, right? And so we have to reason around these things and say, well, Rastafari is not a religion, so it can apply to I and I. But at the same time, within how the law is interpreted, it interprets the word religion to include matters of faith or conscience. So that relate to spiritual matters, So it would apply to Rastafari. And in fact, we've had several court cases across the Caribbean and other parts of the world as well, right? Including South Africa and so forth, which recognize Rastafari as falling in that definition, right? So that again is something that constitutional law set up giving rights to people has come lately to recognize Rastafari have. Because as Brother Miguel was saying earlier about the court house there, we had in 1997 Rastafari lawyer named Dennis Forsyth who challenged the dangerous drugs law as being unconstitutional as regards Rastafari rights. The Constitutional Court scoff and laugh at the argument and throw it the constitutional case, This is 1997. Only to see, in 2015, where the world come forward and recognize, and the government of Jamaica too, in amending the dangerous drugs law, come to recognize that Rastafari has these constitutional rights to ganja that need to be constitutionally and otherwise legally protected. Right? And so I'm saying from 2015, in April of 2015, Rastafari rights to ganja changed in the law, in the legal system of Jamaica. Right? Actually, that law, they say, is the first law, as far as we can find through the research, that specifically mention Rastafari and mention rights Rastafari have. And talk about, of course, these being ganja rights. Right? So,
the short march space, and just what I'd want Jabali and the house here to do is that any brethren who went to jail for herbs, the brethren who had a case before the court, if they could start documenting it, because we need some affidavits to support what Marcus talked about, put it before the Constitutional Court. So we need affidavits. Affidavits is like evidence on paper. Yes. So what we can do is things sort of more modern now. Or they send it to me and Marcus, we can reduce the writing and send it back to the brethren to sign it before JP, and we can put it before the Constitutional Court. So we're gonna need evidence before the court of brethren now. So brethren have to remember details now. When he was charged, when he was arrested, and
police officers if possible.
As much details as possible. So that we can start to put together a case. Like I said, in 1997 one was put, time has long passed since the next one is now due. So that will be the work we have to do,
Yes,
we give thanks.
So family, you can see the tide is rising. The time is now to make a stand. Talk Sharp is done. The Rastafari community is coming together. This is why it's so important that we control the narrative, because yes, we can go on press runs, we can do press release, but at the end of the day, they may give us a minute, 5 minutes on their platform. We need our own platforms to go more in depth, to see exclusive footage, so we can keep the global family up to speed. This is an issue that is important for us as we repatriate, because the African governments often point to Jamaica and how the Jamaican government deals with Rastafari in terms of how they deal with their internal Rastafari communities. So Jamaica, in terms of the law and precedents, is a ground zero globally for Rastafari. So the whole global family, I want the IDM to really take note of what is happening. Tap in with the Lion Voice. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you are part of this movement as we rise. Why? Because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, millions of Africans were stolen and taken in bondage and suffered terrible acts of terrorism. Well, it's best that we live out west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. So it's best that we live out west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. See them slave for paychecks. Work every day, grow old from the stress. The days they're getting cold in the west. Remember we were bought and sold for gold down in the west. I check in my history and I see the sweat from our back to them country. Black people hungry still for the money. Them a robber, them a steal. Funny cause the slave has to face $100 bill for him. Y'all can act like it ain't a big deal, but I got to stand for the black. Color of my skin could have never changed that. No, the slave master thought y'all never talk back, but I must react. See them on the war with Iraq, and my people them dying from the ears and crack. They lack basic things that they need, so they taste the Benjamins. Living like second class citizens. Time to look within. Time for Haile, Selassie, King of Kings, and Ethiopia there from the beginning. Well, ancient memories as it was, miss the soul of the people. So it's best that we live out the west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, can't see no progress. So it's best that we live out the west, living in this life full of stress. Can't you see the government couldn't care less? Work every day, they still come to a rest.
The shores, beautiful faces, take me to the Niger to behold creation. Look at the lions and tigers. Mother Africa, so majestically attired. Crown from her head to her toe with gold and sapphire, platinum, copper, rubber, and manganese. Try to anciently along the ancient seas. Under the blue now fall, sipping my ancient trees. Bathing in the hot springs, putting the structure at ease. Life is hell in the west, it's full time we all leave. $10 for a spliff, what's this? I'll be up in the garden cultivating my own dish. It's gonna be a beautiful thing to witness. 50 acres, growing up in East District. Yo, you going to Africa? Shouldn't even be asking me, cause I'm fed up of these colonizers taxing me. I see visions of Africa coming back to me, so it's time to move forward. Free the captives with these verses and chorus. Burn politicians, cause not one of them is for us. And yo, it's time for us to yacht up to Mount Zion. The door is open before us.
So it's best that we live out the west.